Hello and welcome back to the Old Realms, and obviously as you can see we're still under siege by this wonderful fellow. Now if we can actually make sure that our game doesn't crash, obviously I'm still unsure as to the reason why, because I actually took a look in the editing process as you do, you know, and I noticed that 2 out of the 3 times that it crashed it was due to my weapon, my firearm, and then the one time it wasn't because I was using my sledgehammer at that point. So I'm actually wondering whether it is an interaction with a certain unit. I don't know whether that can even cause any kind of problem, but there's not much more for me to really surmise here. You know, I kind of just have to take what I can get in regards to theories, as it were. Anyway, we're just going to place these guys in a loose formation, as you might expect. And then we're just gonna do auto resolve. I think pretty much. I don't think there's much more that we could do. I mean, I think personally what I should do is I should put my mortar out. I think having a bunch of artillery crew actually makes it a lot better for us to use the mortar, and it probably has a much easier time of actually working. As you can see, look at this. They're already using it. You see that? They are already using it in comparison to the cannon, which doesn't actually work because I don't have engineers, or I don't have something that actually makes them work. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether you need multiple artillery crew to actually make this work. But as you can quite clearly tell, they don't seem to really be firing. I can only assume that is because they are too far away. I can assume that they are going to be too far away or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but the only thing I can really do here is auto-delegate, and we'll see what happens, because I'm kind of in a... I don't know. Oh, wow, look at that. Did that actually hit anyone? Yeah, it hit one person. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so I'm actually really skeptical right now. I'm really skeptical that I'm even going to be able to proceed with this particular battle. I'm actually a bit worried about it, to be honest, because if I can't actually participate in larger scale battles, then this is going to be, well, kind of frustrating, because I would love to be able to do these larger battles. Anyway, I'm actually going to just try to do as much damage as I can here. Massive amounts of damage being done from our firearm here. Obviously, I want to try to get to 250 in gunpowder. That's really going to make a huge difference to us overall. And if I can just continue firing into the general mass of enemy units, I should have a really nice time of getting experience. I'm at 220 in gunpowder. I was kind of hoping for a bit more than that, sir. So maybe I can actually get some more level ups or something like that. I'm just trying to fire as fast as possible at the moment, because even if I do have to retreat or something like that, at least I will have gained some good skill in the process, and that's kind of what we wanted to do. Unfortunately, my horse seems like the weak link at this point in time, which is quite funny. I would have expected myself to be the thing that would die much faster, but apparently my horse is the one that's actually taking most of the damage here. Probably because I have some really good armor on at this point. I'm not entirely sure. What are my forces doing right now? Didn't I tell them to auto-delegate? Oh yeah, they're just protecting the flanks and so on and so forth. It's kind of a bit strange, considering look at what's happening now. We're getting ourselves absolutely eliminated here. Kind of a bit weird. Anyway, I can't really go one-on-one with any of these guys because they have lances. And of course I have a sledgehammer, which is highly unlikely to be able to pretty much do anything against them. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what is actually happening right now. What is actually happening with my forces here? Because they are not actually doing anything. Oh, I bonked that guy on the head. That was pretty nice. But yeah, my forces are really kind of... I don't know. They're not really doing much. I feel like I should probably tell them to actually do something myself. So I'm actually going to put them into a loose formation again, because obviously auto-delegate stopped them from doing that. And we're going to actually have them move over here, because I'm hopeful that maybe the enemy is... I don't know. I was hoping that I could draw them to come over to us, because that was the main purpose of me riding out there. That's usually the purpose of why I ride out into, you know, the enemy's area and territories on the battlefield, because you want to make sure that you get those additional, well, chances to draw them into some kind of ambush, draw them into some kind of conflict on your terms, in comparison to how it is now, where Well, they're not. They're not doing that. So, yeah, it's not that good. Anyway, let me see if I can maybe get my archers to come over here or something like that. Because if I can actually get my archers to come over here, I think we're going to be perfectly fine. But it is very much a case of, well, if. That's the thing, isn't it? You know? That is the thing. And they got to run a pretty fair distance to even get over here. So, obviously, that's a bit of an issue in itself. Got to be careful about the cavalry, too. Of course, they're going to be proving themselves to be somewhat irritating. Gonna shoot along the line here, and my horse is gonna get killed inevitably sometime soon. Yep, there it is. Okay, that is really not very good actually right now. I'm just gonna switch to my shield real fast just to make sure. Okay. Really? Really? Okay, you're just gonna leave me alone? Alright, okay, I'm kind of surprised. I was wholeheartedly expecting them to just just charge in straight away, just try and murder me in any single way that they could. And for the most part, they're not really doing that, which is quite weird. Anyway, I'm just going to reload here just to get myself ready. I mean, you can see here, I literally just take very little damage right now because I am just that well armored. It's actually crazy. I'm going to shoot that guy. There we go. Taking him down. Oh, no, I didn't take him down. I just want to take this guy down. There we go. Please, 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 horse. Horse, I need you. There we are. Thank you. That is that is exactly what I wanted to do. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so unfortunately my forces are now getting themselves absolutely massacred. I'm actually going to spread them out a little bit more, as you can see right there. Just going to have to draw a line. Obviously the, you know, standard formation is not really going to work out too well because indeed it's too tight. The formation is just too tight, even in loose formation. So I'm going to have to spread them out manually, which is obviously not exactly great. It would be nice if the loose formation could be customized a little bit further, or shall we say, could have them just go into a formation that makes sense. Because if there are over 100 units, it's probably going to make sense to make them go a little bit further apart, wouldn't you say? I think so, at least. Anyway, I'm just going to go over to here. There we go. Shoot these guys. I'm just trying to focus down higher tier units if I can, because that's the thing that we mostly want. We want the high tier units. We want the experience from killing them. Hopefully my own forces will actually start killing enemies now, because it feels to me like we're it feels like we're in an old oldie you know, musket what is it, musket era, you know, the musket era of like line battles and so on and so forth. Because literally, just look at what we got going on here. It's actually crazy. Alright, so well, just as the battle was going relatively smoothly, we had a crash, and it happened exactly at the moment that I thought, where I was actually shooting at a mounted enemy, and the mounted enemy had like a green-ish kind of outfit. I'm not entirely sure. I believe that I remember shooting at a similar unit beforehand and thinking to myself, okay, wait a minute, that looks kind of familiar. And so I'm thinking that there is definitely some kind of weird interaction with me shooting that particular opponent with my rifle. That seems to be the thing that causes the crash. I'm actually just going to allow the game to run a little bit here. We're going to have to go in at some point, because I don't really want my entire garrison to get absolutely massacred. But I do not really want to have another crash if I can help it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save here just to make sure that I've got this checkpoint. And then we're going to take a look at our army screen for a real quick second. Because I'd actually like to see if I have... No, I do have one master engineer, but that is pretty much it. We have 2 veteran artillery crew. Yeah, so that's the problem here. I only have 1 engineer, which means that's the reason why I can't actually utilize the cannon. Because as far as I'm aware, as I said to you before, I feel like you are going to need to... yeah, you're going to need engineers. You're going to need engineers to be able to man the cannons, and you're going to need artillery crew to man the mortars. That makes sense, because technically cannons are not actually artillery. I mean, you can count them as artillery, of course, but mortars fit the bill much better in regard to, you know, artillery. So that's what's going on there. But this gives us another opportunity to try out our mortar, because obviously we're within 300 distance of the opponent. I'm actually kind of... No, I don't want to do that. Thank you very much. Yeah, that new system now. The system is cool, by the way. The one where you can just, you know, target a specific contingent. For example, I can target my horse archers to attack these guys, and I can target my cavalry to target those guys, and do that specifically. But that's the main thing there. It's a little bit annoying when you're trying to put people ahead. You know what I mean? You want to get these guys ahead. You want to put them in a particular formation. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to utilize there because we don't have a top-down, you know, kind of perspective or anything like that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is we're going to move our infantry. Why do I have so many infantry? I have 122 infantry. That's actually hilarious. Okay, so yeah, we're going to put out the mortar. And this is a relatively similar battlefield to what we had beforehand, just at a different time of day. So this time around, I'm actually going to put the mortar somewhere around here. And then we're going to put the archers round about here as well. And the infantry can stand a little bit closer. And we're going to make the infantry actually stand in a loose formation as well, because from my reckoning, I think that's probably going to make the most sense. Let's have our cavalry go over there and eliminate the enemies. Yeah, these guys, right? These fellows right here. These ones, the green ones. This guy with the cloak. Empire Valiant Outrider. That's the guy that makes me crash when I shoot at him. Yes. That is the fellow that makes me crash. So that is what I will be attempting to avoid. I will not be shooting at those guys, which is really weird. I mean, I can test it if you so desire. You know, I can actually test it, but I'm thinking probably not, right? I'm thinking probably not a good idea. Anyway, unfortunately, I didn't get any of the experience. Look at my mortar! Yes! It's actually doing damage! Fantastic! Love that. Yeah, okay, so basically what I've got to do is I've got to be very careful not to hit any opponent that is on a horse, because you never know when it could actually be one of those guys. Look at my mortar! Yes! It's doing massive damage. I'm just going to stand here. Boom. Boom. Oh no, I want to do... There we go. Get some penetration on there. There we go. Thank you very much. But yeah, the mortar... Oh, I really wish I had more of these. You know, I really wish I had so many more of these. It would be so much fun. Anyway, yeah, if I can just continue to deal damage here, I will be very happy indeed. And then we should be good. I think we should be absolutely fine. It's really weird how that is the only unit that makes me crash, though, to be honest. That is super, super strange. And now I'm going to have to level up my gunpowder skill again. That's always very sad, isn't it? But yeah, at least we've kind of, you know, narrowed it down a little bit, I suppose, as to what could be causing the problem, because it's nothing that I'm doing, that's for sure. You know, I've got exactly the same setup. I haven't installed any additional mods. Look at the mortar damage! It just blew those guys up. That was absolutely fantastic. Don't shoot that fellow, just in case. And, yeah, it is doing fantastic work. This mortar is doing really, really good work right now. I'm actually a bit... I don't know, I'm a bit irritated actually because of the fact that, not because it's crashing, but because I just don't get to save my progression, you know, because obviously I understand if something crashes, I don't really, you know, it can be frustrating, but only for the fact that I'm losing progression, nothing really else apart from that. But yeah, otherwise I guess what we could do is, if I can just kill these guys. Actually, wait a minute, there's a huge amount of these fellows. By the way, I wanted to ask you, are there grenades or some kind of explosive thrown weapon thing in this mod? Because I seem to recall seeing a perk that has something to do with explosive throwables. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, hey, you know what? Is that actually a real thing? Is that actually something that I can get? Because if that's something I can get, then I am very interested. Oh yes, I am very, very interested. Because that's basically like having spells, but on a sort of like not reusable fashion, you know what I mean? Because obviously I'm going to be, well, I'm going to be running out, you know, I'm going to be running out of whatever it is, you know, whatever the resource is. And that actually makes a great deal of sense, and it will probably be quite fun, you know? It will probably be quite fun to have something like that. But yeah, I obviously, as I say, don't know whether there is anything like that, so I can't really say one way or another, but... These guys are all extremely difficult to kill, as you can tell. Look at this. I'm actually hitting them for, you know, upwards of 100 damage most of the time. And they're not dying. Very strange. Very, very strange. Oh well, never mind. It happens, it happens. Okay, so yeah, we should just continue to do damage here. I want to try to level up as best I can, and if I can just continue to do this, then that is all that we really need. I'm going to tell my forces to auto-delegate now, so that they can do whatever they want to do. And I think we should have a pretty easy time of things. Just going to heal myself a little bit as well. Ah, hello, cannon. You are going to... Yeah, no, I'm gonna take you down, sir. There we go. Oh, you fired and everything. How dare you fire while I am murdering you with my bonking attack. Yes. Knocking this guy down is so hilarious. It's actually really, really funny to knock someone down because you have the perk Show of Strength, right? You have the perk Show of Strength, and then you also have the Sledgehammer's natural ability, which is to knock people down. So you have an even greater chance. I have no idea how much chance you have, but you must have a really, really high chance to make that work, which is quite funny in itself. But yeah, it's a bit difficult to actually stop these guys. Can you actually do damage to the cannon? Oh, you can. Ah, there we go. I might as well just murder the cannon then. I think that's quite funny as well. The fact that I'm actually able to do that. I think because I have blunt damage as well, it's definitely making a big difference. Oh, wow. I'm literally gonna... Oh, okay. Oh, that was funny. All right. If that's how they're gonna do it, that's how they're gonna do it. Okay, so my guys have literally decided to run away now, which is really stupid. Oh, wow. The AI. Look at this. You see this right now? You see what the AI does? This is how stupid the AI is, okay? This is a... Oh, okay, I don't even know. This is a great example of how stupid the AI can be. And this is not... obviously, this is not a modding problem here. This is not a modding problem. This is all to do with the base game. And the way that auto-delegate works. Because obviously I'm dead now, so, you know, obviously, you know, I can't command them. But look what they're doing. They're literally standing back there. And they're allowing a cannon that has, well, all intents and purposes, about, what, 5% HP? Because I couldn't finish it off. They're allowing that cannon to basically do whatever. And you can see here that my cavalry are, well, I mean, you can quite clearly see they have finally charged in. But they allowed our forces to take insane amounts of damage, just purely for the fact that they didn't want to engage, and that made all the difference. Really did. We could have easily lost that, by the way, as well, just purely for the fact that they just were hesitant. They had trepidation. They were just not doing it, and it was very, very sad indeed. Anyway, gonna take all these guys prisoner. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Gonna take all these guys prisoner. Gonna put them into the dungeon here. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Just going to do that. And then we'll move on and hopefully try to level up some... I don't know. I mean, I don't even know whether I should even bother taking this loot. But yeah, we should probably try to level up our engineering skill. Someone said, very, very usefully, by the way, that to level up engineering skill relatively quickly, what you can do is you can... go into a siege defense, or even in a siege offense, and you can then man one of the pieces of siege. If you do that, then you're going to obviously level up much, much quicker. 53,000, sure, whatever. I'll just get rid of all those guys as well. Now, here's the thing. We barely have any food, which is a big problem. So I'm actually not entirely sure how that's even... Oh, it's because we were besieged just now. That's the reason. Okay, yeah, that's good to know. Anyway, the fairgrounds are going to be done relatively soon as well. We are going to be restoring ourselves. And did I actually level up in that battle either? Did I get to 250 in... no, we got to 239. Actually, pretty close. Pretty close. Not too bad. Anyway, minus 15% accuracy penalty when mounted. Alright, we'll go for it. It's been a while since I've taken Sagittarius, actually, because I usually... well, in the last couple of battles, I haven't actually been... Well, not battles. The last couple of series, I haven't actually used a ranged weapon. But we do have 2 additional focus points. So what are we going to spec into? Well, we could spec into Charm skill. We could spec into Steward skill. Leadership is also kind of calling for us, but Leadership doesn't really do too much for me. The only thing that I can really think of that it would do is get Uplifting Spirit. That gives me +10 to party size limit. There's a bunch of other things like Trusted Commander and Lead by Example. These are really, really good in a number of cases, you know, just getting your forces back on their feet. But I'm thinking we'll probably go for Riding Skill here, and I'm thinking maybe Two-Handed. Or Athletics? I actually have no idea. I'll just go for Two-Handed considering. And I think I do have some career points to spend as well. Yeah, it seems like I actually leveled up twice, which is hilarious. Anyway, increase the damage of all melee troops by 15% and hits below 15 do not stagger the player. That, in my opinion, is absolutely insane. So if you take 15 or less damage, you're not going to get slowed or stunned or anything like that. Which, in my opinion, is extremely strong. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, the next one is 40% chance to recruit an extra unit of the same type free of charge. So you can replenish your ranks really, really quickly. Which, I've got to say, I'm very much in favor of. Thank you very much. Anyway, we're just going to be waiting here for some time. Unfortunately, the governor in my town here is not actually very good at his job. He only has 78 in Steward, which obviously, you know, if you think about it, it would be a lot better for him to, you know, be a proper Steward user. But I actually had to get some random to do it, yeah, he was the closest one that I could get, and that was pretty much it. All right, so these guys are not going to be able to do that. I think my other fellow actually was killed, Ragan the engineer. I think he was actually killed while he was running one of my parties, I think. That could in fact be the case, because I don't see him on the party screen any further. I'm actually not entirely sure. Is he a part of my... No, he's a prisoner. Oh. He's still a prisoner. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how long it's been since he's become a prisoner, but yes, he is indeed a prisoner. Okay, so first of all, what we want to do is we want to go into the marketplace here. Thankfully, we're finally done with that particular siege because, yeah, apart from the fact that I actually do very much enjoy doing those kinds of engagements, the fact that it was crashing and pushing us all the way back was not very helpful. But yeah, anyway, we can get rid of all this, we can get rid of this, and then we're good. There we are. Okay, fantastic. So now we can go over to the castle, and we'll see what we can do. Obviously, here's the thing. I'm not... Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. Okay. I was going to say, here's the thing. I'm not really going to, you know, be able to level up my engineering that easily, because I'm not actually going to go on the... you know, go on the trebuchets or the catapults or anything like that in the actual battle itself, even though that would be a fantastic way of doing it. But anyway, someone said that I should definitely look at the traveling merchant, so I'm going to look at the traveling merchant just so I can kind of show you what's going on with this, because here's the thing. Usually, I'm not going to find anything that is super, super powerful here, because I already have pretty good stuff. I mean, this is a small upgrade, but I have to spend 37,000 for one extra body armor. Not really going to make much sense. Apart from that, what else can we see here? This is a mace that could be kind of useful. It's a two-handed mace, so we could potentially use that. That's literally the only thing that I can see right now. What's the length like? Oh, the length is actually kind of meh, so I'm not entirely sure whether I want to use it. It's got great swing damage and everything, but sure. We'll buy it, but I'm not really convinced, yeah, at the moment. But yeah, as you can quite clearly tell, most of the items are not really going to be too useful for me at the moment. But, you know, that's obviously not to say that there aren't going to be anything, you know. There isn't going to be anything there that could be kind of good. So maybe I should check his inventory every time. I don't know. But anyway, these guys are going to be a bit annoying. But I'm just going to besiege this castle and see whether we can actually distract them to come back here. It seems like we can distract them to come back here. Obviously, the main purpose of me doing this is to literally just get them to waste their time. Because we really want to make sure that they just get disbanded. We want them to disband as soon as they possibly can be. Otherwise, these guys are literally just mercenaries, so I'm just going to be auto-resolving against them. As you can see, they are super, super easy to eliminate. I'm not going to be taking any of the prisoners either. There's basically no point in that too. And also, there's no point in us taking any of these. For some reason. Ah, yeah, it's because we've also... I just wasted a huge amount of experience right there. Oh, well, never mind. It's fine. It's fine. They're going to level up eventually, so it's not really that big a deal. Aha! Okay, yeah, so we want to go for Demigryph Knights, right? I think we want to go for Demigryph Knights. 14,000 upgrade cost. That's crazy. Alright, so yeah, Alexandra is after us at the moment. But, I mean, that's the point. How much of a likelihood is it that she's going to be able to maintain this army for an extended period of time? Going to assume it's not going to be that likely. But that just means that we can run into a bunch of other, other fights here. And our medic actually has 212 in medicine now, which is actually insane. I'm super, super pleased to see that, because that means that a lot of our people will literally just go and get knocked unconscious instead of actually being killed. So that's going to make a huge difference in general, because it does take a little bit of time to level up our forces into the highest ranks. So it's going to be pretty cool to actually see that. Ah, look at this. We can actually recruit some more Blazing Knights, or Blazing Sun Knights even. And that is great. Very nice indeed. Okay, so let's see what Alexandra decides to do. If she decides to go into a siege against us, then we will be ready. Oh, yes. And I am, of course, remembering to build my catapults, because we need the catapults on the walls here. I'm going to be building one ballista as well, mostly because I'd like to actually go on the ballista if we get into the siege itself. You can see here that she actually does outnumber us quite a bit. I actually wonder where my own faction is. What are they actually doing? Because I haven't seen them capture anything in quite some time. And I also haven't seen them... Okay, what is she actually doing? She's going over there. Well, apart from the fact that she's taking quite some time to get to her siege destination, we are now in a situation where we are going to have to defend against some siege, which is going to be giving me some engineering, as you can see. I'm actually at 74 engineering, 75 engineering now. Let's actually spec that perk point so that we can take advantage of it. So let's see, what do we want to go for? When besieging. Yeah, that doesn't really help us that much. So I guess I will still take it, but yeah, not going to be great. Okay, so this ballista is going to be targeting our ballista, which is not exactly awesome, because I'd like to actually maintain that if at all possible. But the more that we can actually destroy these pieces of siege, the more we are going to be able to get, engineering skill. So that's kind of the whole deal, isn't it? That is kind of the whole deal. Yeah, maybe it would actually be better for me to actually even just go on the catapults anyway, but as I've said to you multiple times, usually I'm really insecure when it actually comes to using a catapult in a siege defense, or even in a siege offense, because I don't have a lot of faith in my own abilities to actually hit anything. That's the main deal there. So I'm actually kind of hoping that maybe I can just use the ballista, and maybe that's going to give me the... I don't know, maybe that will give me the overall... I don't know, the overall benefit. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're not going into the siege itself. I'm not entirely sure why they're not going into the siege. Should I just ambush them real fast? Yeah, I feel like, you know what, let's just go and ambush them, and then we'll just get a little bit of gunpowder skill, because maybe we can get to 250 with this. And maybe the ambush is going to kind of force them to reevaluate what they're doing, or maybe something along those lines. That may be kind of cool, you know, maybe kind of cool to do. And yeah, we can also maybe test out our vampire mace. As you can see, there it is. It does feel a lot shorter, so I'm not sure whether that's really going to be that useful for us, but well, we can give it a go. Okay, so are these guys actually going to crash me right now if I shoot them? No, these are artillery crew, so we don't need to worry about that. As long as they're not outriders or whatever, we should be okay. What? How much? How much HP does that guy have? That's crazy. Did you see that? He literally took bullets like candy right there. How is this guy surviving? How is he blocking my bullets? I thought I had penetration. Do I not penetrate shields, or do I just only penetrate other enemies? Or should we say additional enemies? Okay, well, I guess what I should do is probably switch to my hammer here. Oh, I do 190 damage? Wow, I should really use hammers more, shouldn't I? I feel like I should use hammers more, because it feels to me like they are just so much easier to use in these situations where you actually need to deal damage to siege engines and, well, heavily armored troops as well. You're going to be doing a lot more damage to heavily armored troops because of the way that bludgeoning damage works. Oh well, never mind. Okay, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Anyway, enemy reinforcements have arrived. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Oh, we're actually ordering a tactical retreat right now, but I'm gonna try to at least eliminate this guy, or at least a couple of these guys, because they are indeed the leaders of the enemy. There we go. Some of them are leaders of the enemy, of course. And I've got 244 in gunpowder skill. I'd really love to get a little bit more, please. I've got 2 points in riding skill from attacking this guy. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna have to get out of here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just die, aren't I? Am I? No. Petty heal to the rescue. Yes. Oh, that's such a master stroke, isn't it? Thank you very much for recommending that. Anyway, yeah, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. There we go. We actually did a really, really good job of eliminating their siege, and that is all that we really wanted to do, of course. And now let's see what happens, because they need to rebuild their rams and everything. Okay, wait a minute. They want to make peace with us, but we haven't. Oh. Okay, well, there's a crash. Hilariously enough, it's about the time where I was actually going to end the episode anyway, so I will just end it off here once more. Very weird how that always happens, right? I'm not entirely sure why that's even happening, to be honest, because, as you see, we're not doing anything special. We're not doing anything special at all. It's very weird because I've done so many sieges with the other series, right? I was doing, you know, massive amounts of sieges on the vampire. We did quite a lot of sieges on the damsel as well, and we never had this many crashes, so I have no idea what is actually happening here, but oh well, never mind. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.